Hey, it's Zach. Going to talk about the theories of emotion and what I found to be interesting this week, and what was the most appealing to me, and what was convincing to me, and what I found interesting. Um, so, starting with physiological, the differential emotions theory was very interesting, which talks about how that our personalities are organized around affective biases, and that we all have the primary emotions like fear and anger and sadness and interest and excitement. So this one was probably, I don't want to say it was the least interesting to me. Maybe I just had a little bit harder of a time understanding this one. But it just says that our emotions are instinctual and hardwired into our brains, and it's the source of our motivations. Now, I do agree with that, and that's why I chose the differential theory to talk about for my first one for physiological theories of emotion, because I do believe that those emotions are hardwired into our brains and that they have an impact on the way that we react to certain things and cope with certain stressors and situations. So that's physiological theories. So the next one, for psychological theories of emotion, the theory of emotional intelligence was very interesting to me. I'll just tell you what the book says. It says it's emotional intelligence is a person's ability to process information about emotions accurately, effectively, consequently to regulate emotions in an optimal manner. And I like how it talks about in here that people are not necessarily emotionally intelligent about themselves and other people. Sometimes it's either or, and sometimes we're we're better about being emotionally intelligent about other people. Which this one really hit home to me because I really, you know, I'm appealed by this one, and this one's convincing to me as well because, like it talks about in the chapter under the theory of emotional intelligence, and it mentions even specifically social workers and how that sometimes they're better at giving advice to others than they are themselves. And I can relate to that because I'm a peer support specialist, and I've been in recovery for over 3 years now. And I've done a lot of small groups and one on ones with people that, are trying to get clean. And like I said, I've been clean for over 3 years, but, it was hard to get my life back together and make the right decisions along the way as well. And I've always been good at giving advice to people, and I've always been good at kind of counseling people and leading them in the right direction. But I will say that when it comes to myself, I am the one that needs counseling and leadership and just someone to point me in the right direction. So the theory of emotional intelligence was very interesting to me because of that. And like I said, I could relate to that one quite a bit as well. So moving on to social theories. So the social constructionist theory was the one that I found most interesting. And it just states that emotions can be understood as socially constructed transitory roles. And it talks about the appraisal of situations and talks about socially acceptable actions. Um, the book also says that the social functions of emotions, we often experience them as passions or feelings not under our control. So I've experienced that as well. Sometimes you walk in and into some bad situation, and somebody offends you, or you see something you don't want to see, and then you take action based on this passion and this feeling, this overwhelming sense of anger um, because of what you witnessed, and you would do things that are normally not socially acceptable, but because of the amount of anger, the amount of stress, you kind of justify those actions and kind of say that you're not really in control, that you wasn't yourself. It's like when you get into a really bad fight with someone and you say something that you didn't mean afterwards. You just, when you think about it and you apologize to them, and you might say, that wasn't me. I didn't mean that. That wasn't really a good depiction of myself, but I was just very angered at the situation. And also, like, you hear about like crimes of passion, and I think that's why crimes of passion in the court system exist and are handled differently, because sometimes people go into a situation and they are so angry and they are under such a tremendous amount of stress that they make a one-time decision that is not reflective to their character, and though it does not justify and it doesn't make it okay, but there is some leniency in the laws to crimes of passion versus, say, premeditated first degree murder. So yeah, those are the three things that I found interesting this week. And again, like I said, I just think that all of these are very interesting, but the theory of emotional intelligence was probably the most appealing and convincing to me. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for listening to me, and I look forward to hearing your guys' thoughts. Thanks.